Imagine the roar of a sports car engine, the world's fastest supercar, its speed, pure adrenaline on wheels, clocking in at over 300 miles per hour. Now, picture a man with no vehicle, no engine, no wheels, just pure supernatural speed, outrunning the chariot of a king across miles of rugged terrain. Yes, we're talking about Elijah, the prophet who, powered by God, took off faster than a chariot pulled by royal horses, leaving King Ahab's jaw in the dust. If you think the latest supercar is impressive, try outrunning it on foot like Elijah did. You can find this incredible race in 1 Kings 18, where Elijah's story is filled with miracles, divine power, and the speed that would make any car designer scratch their head in awe. Into this scene steps a man, a figure both rugged and righteous, a lone prophet who seems to carry the very fire of heaven within him. His name is Elijah, and he walks not with the authority of earthly kings, but with the power of the Almighty God. He's a man known for his fierce faith and unshakable courage, a man who stands alone against hundreds of false prophets and dares to challenge the worship of Baal, the so-called god of rain and fertility. Today we delve into a story unlike any other, a tale of miraculous wonders, of fire from heaven, of a race against chariots, and of the unstoppable power that can only come from the God of Israel. We're about to witness Elijah's showdown on Mount Carmel, where one man's faith turns an entire nation back to the true God. Stay with us, because this is a story that will grip you from the very beginning to the dramatic, rain-soaked finish. Elijah's challenge on Mount Carmel. The day arrives, and the mountain is alive with anticipation. All of Israel has come to witness this showdown on Mount Carmel, a towering peak overlooking the Mediterranean Sea. Ahab, the king of Israel, stands nearby, watching intently with a smug sense of security. Surrounding him are 450 prophets of Baal, draped in robes of crimson, their faces set in smug confidence. And there, standing alone on the other side of the mountaintop, is Elijah, a single figure against the multitude. With the people gathered around, Elijah raises his voice, cutting through the whispers and murmurs. "How long will you waver between two opinions?" he calls out, his voice resonating over the crowd. "If the Lord is God, follow him, but if Baal is God, then follow him." The people are silent, torn between the traditions they've fallen into and the God they've abandoned. They look at Elijah, eyes wide, unsure of what to expect. Elijah issues a challenge to the prophets of Baal. 2 altars, 2 sacrifices. Each side would call upon their God, and the God who answered by fire would be the one true God. The prophets of Baal accept the challenge, moment. Elijah prays for rain. But Elijah's work isn't done. The land itself is still in drought, and the people desperately need rain. Elijah climbs once more to the top of Mount Carmel, and there, with his head between his knees, he begins to pray. He sends his servant to look toward the sea, hoping for a sign of rain. 6 times the servant returns with the same message. There's nothing there. But Elijah's faith is undeterred. He knows his God will answer. On the 7th time, the servant returns, his eyes wide with wonder. A cloud as small as a man's hand is rising from the sea. That small cloud is enough for Elijah. He sends word to King Ahab, warning him to prepare his chariot, for the rain is coming. And as the sky darkens, as thunder rumbles and the wind begins to stir, the heavens open and rain pours down over the land, quenching the earth and reviving the people. Elijah outruns Ahab's chariots. But the story doesn't end there. As the storm gathers strength, Elijah feels the power of God surge through him. With divine energy, he tucks his cloak into his belt and begins to run. In a supernatural feat, he outruns Ahab's chariots all the way to Jezreel, a distance no ordinary man could cover at such speed. But Elijah is no ordinary man. He's a man of God, empowered by the one who commands the wind and the rain. Moral lessons from Elijah's life. So what can we learn from the story of Elijah, the man who commanded fire from heaven and outran chariots? Elijah's life is a testimony to the power of faith and the courage to stand alone for God's truth. Even when he was outnumbered, Elijah never wavered. He reminds us that true faith doesn't falter in the face of opposition, but stands firm, trusting in the God who is greater than any earthly force. Elijah's prayer life also teaches us a powerful lesson. He didn't rely on his own strength, but constantly sought God's guidance and power. His prayers brought fire from heaven, rain from drought, and strength to his legs to outrun chariots. Elijah's story shows us that our prayers, too, can be powerful when they are rooted in a deep, genuine faith. Finally, Elijah's story reminds us of the importance of rejecting idolatry in all its forms. The people of Israel had turned to false gods, thinking they could find prosperity and safety, but only the true God could bring them rain, fire, and peace. Elijah's victory on Mount Carmel was more than a contest. It was a call for the people to return to their Creator. In the end, Elijah's life is a reminder that we serve a living, powerful God who hears our prayers, who answers in miraculous ways, and who empowers those who stand boldly for His truth. So, as we look back on the story of Elijah, let us be inspired to walk in faith, to pray with boldness, and to trust in the God who answers by fire and sends rain in seasons of drought.